Hi, everybody. It's Cheyenne here from the Nerds and Night podcast, here to tell you about our presenting sponsor, Anchor. Anchor is the free and easiest way to make a podcast with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple, and many more without you having to do anything. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It has everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Welcome back to the Nerds at Night podcast. Today we have a podcast on Eternals. We're going to be talking about it, giving it a score, and talking about the post-credit scene. We got Cheyenne, Josh, and Shawn here with me. And what did you guys think about the movie?
Bro, it's wild. It's wild to get introed on a podcast. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's different, ain't it?
It's crazy.
You just sitting
No,
there like,
man.
yep, that's me.
I think I definitely liked Eternals. I liked it a lot, actually. I don't understand a lot of the hate. I think there's some storytelling elements that they could have tightened up a little bit. But I mean, that's what you get when you do an origin story for the entire universe. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
But I mean, I don't want to leave with score. I want to what was your favorite part of the movie, Brendan? Let's hit some best and
Ooh.
worst.
My favorite part is probably Icarus turning on the rest of the Eternals.
That's a shock.
I love that part.
That's
I
a
love
shock.
I love the twist where he turns into a bad guy. You could see it coming, but I loved it. What about you?
I don't want to step on worst yet. So, what was the best for me? This is a page to DC. Like, they need to take some notes for that Flash when it comes out. Any of Makari's scenes were amazing.
Yeah, they were.
Like the whole fight scene with her. Like, did you preface? We're gonna I mean, I know Brennan already did a big spoiler. This is gonna be a spoiler-ridden episode, right? It's a reaction to Eternals. So, please, if you haven't watched the movie, exit out the podcast. But any scene with Makari, the scene where she fights Icarus on the beach, like that was probably the best use of super speed I've seen in a movie. Like I think that was better than.
It looked good.
Because you can't compare it to like the Days of Future Past Quicksilver scenes because they're really like he's moving in slow motion, right?
Yeah.
But like this is the scenes of her moving at super speed, like fighting, were amazing. I loved it. What about you, Josh? What was your favorite part of the movie?
Honestly, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think it's what
Phantos?
You talking about
Phantos?
Phantos?
Yeah. Honestly,
Or
I
as
like
Druid-
him.
As Druid says, Festus.
Yeah, I honestly I thought his character arc was amazing. It was kind of a twist to see him with the kid and everything, but
Talk about some first. We got some big groundbreaking stuff in this Marvel movie. That was cool.
yeah, I honestly liked his character. I like the engineering part of everything about him.
Festus was cool.
First sex scene, and is that the first?
It's the first gay superhero in a movie, which is awesome, and it's the first first sex scene. I remember I turned to Rachel in the movie. I said, "Are they fucking?" I said that they about to fuck in a Marvel movie. This is crazy.
Yeah, I looked over at Shawn and Brennan. I was like, "Is this Marvel? What are we watching?"
What's going on here? They had the Game of Thrones. They had the Game of Thrones actors. They had to throw a sex scene in there. You know, they accustomed to it.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who was in Game of Thrones?
Icarus.
Yeah, he was.
And Dane Whitman. Dane Whitman's Jon Snow.
Well, yeah,
and Icarus is Robb Stark. He's the oldest Stark son. He's the one that dies in the Red Wedding.
Oh, don't tell me that.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I remember him now.
That's Robb Stark. That's why it's so weird when he's like, "I love you, Cersei." I was like, "Hey, you a Stark, bro. You a Stark, dog." What about you, Shawn? What worked the best for you in the movie?
The ending.
This is wild. Like ending, like the turn, or like
when
the end?
when the credits came on the screen.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
That says I don't like the movie right there.
So like,
no.
I want to let's just get it up the front, right? You have actually something you want to say worked the best for you, Shawn, or you hated it?
No, I'm not saying I don't hate it. I'm not. I don't really. I didn't like. I see. I'm not the. Some movies I will go pay to watch again. This one I will not pay to watch again.
I understand that.
My. Does it have to be a favorite part of the movie, or can it just be
I say what works the best. That'll be a fair part. Like, what did you like most about the movie?
the movie? The setup. You know what I mean? The story behind it, setting everything up for the future.
Yep.
It's at the beginning of a series. I would expect because they already confirmed
Nice.
Eternals 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I like. It's pushing forward and getting it ready for the future.
Right. I'd like to get the negative. Let's get the negative out the way at the top, right?
Okay.
There's a lot I like about this movie. Like, I'm gonna say a lot of things that didn't work for me, but I really do like this movie a lot. I feel like more than some people. The storytelling all over the part was very. There's stuff that just doesn't work for me, right? Like Brennan, you said the Icarus turn was like your favorite part of the movie. I couldn't care less about Icarus, right? Did not like. I mean, I liked the character, but like nothing emotional Icarus hit with me. Like my favorite part of the movie is give me more Makari, give me more Druid, give me more Kingo, right? I loved Kingo.
Mm-hmm.
I literally
But, like-
felt he was another Homelander.
See, I don't know. It wasn't the power set. It was just like I didn't care about him and Cersei and the Sprite love triangle. And then, like,
Yeah.
I liked Gilgamesh, but like when he died, I wasn't sad. I didn't care because like you barely saw him on screen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, Gilgamesh is dead. They had to kill some of them, right? You can't bring 10 back for the next movie. And like the Angelina Jolie brainwash stuff, like I understood what's going on. I liked it,
Like that.
but I feel like they tried to shove too much stuff about these 10 characters. And like I don't know, if the movie would have focused more on like, I feel like it's centered around the wrong characters for me. Like I didn't care enough about Cersei and Icarus for them to be the main two. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I still like the movie overall. And then like the whole super deviant arc was pointless. Made no sense.
Yeah, it kind of honestly to me, like I got the vibe of Voltron.
Ultron,
Well,
Yeah.
I don't so it's like the like the guy, I think his name's Crow, right, or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like, what's the point? So he's mad that they killed deviants. He's gonna kill deviants and get powerful just for him to die and not actually lead to anything.
yeah, I get that because it basically was just there. It didn't do
He's
anything
just a
for
he's just a
them.
thing for them to fight. I feel like the movie would have been better without any deviants coming back. Like I feel like they're just a CGI monster for superheroes to fight.
Yeah.
They serve their purpose.
There was no, I mean,
Honestly, I
story
don't
with it.
like that they hid the Icarus. I feel like if we would have gone, they should have showed us that Icarus was bad early in the movie, so we know who the real big bad is. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That way we have a villain to get behind. Instead of like, so we're fighting these deviants that I don't care about, that they just wipe off, and it's like, oh, now Icarus is bad, and they beat him real quick, and then when he flew into the sun, I was like, I did not. I still like this movie. I know I'm saying a lot of bad things. When he flew into the sun, I was like, this is stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah, it got like a Superman kind of vibe out of the whole thing.
It's just like Icarus flew in close to the sun. That's cool.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about Icarus flying into the sun, Brennan?
I didn't mind it.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
I
Like,
thought,
it didn't
oh, he's
bother
gonna.
me none.
I was like, oh, he's gonna go get Arishem. I was like, oh no, he's just gonna kill himself. That's cool.
He didn't kill himself.
I know he's not dead, but like that's
No.
So
they
yeah,
didn't know how to write him out. They didn't know how to wrap his story up in the.
No, he's just throwing a fit, bud. He's just throwing a fit.
is a 2-year-old throwing a fit. I do have a question real quick about this movie though, for you guys. Do you think it could have been better as a Disney Plus TV show?
Yes and no.
No, I disagree.
No, you're
No.
you're dragging out. That doesn't need to be.
I just think that it is an origin story. I just feel like in a Disney Plus show we could have got more of or a little cleaner origin telling. They didn't have to rush certain things. We could spend a little more time with each character and get to actually like care about them a little more.
Yeah, like I felt like that would have been fantastic. I wanted to feel more attached to these characters than what I did.
Like you said, Brennan, you like Gilgamesh, right? Like I like Gilgamesh, but wouldn't you like feel like in a Disney Plus show we could have got maybe 30 minutes more of Gilgamesh and Thena, what they were doing in the 5,000 years or however long, 1,000 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of what, like 10 minutes in the desert?
Correct.
Yeah, 10 minutes in the desert.
And then she gets healed instantly from her brainwashing.
Mm-hmm. Like, I want to know what that was all about. Like, they didn't go into detail about anything.
Well, they said like
Yeah.
her memory didn't get wiped clearly. Like
Yeah,
her
it's
memory just
mad
didn't get
weary.
wiped. The Mad Weary.
Yeah. It's
I just
it's
again, I just
overloaded.
feel like
She's overloaded. That's all it is.
there could have just been, to me, there could have been more story. Like, I wanted to feel these characters more than what I did.
Which I get that. Like that's a problem not only for origin stories, but especially when you have 10 new characters you're introducing. They all have unique skill sets, all their own backstories. Then you got the history of the Celestials and the Internals at whole, and now you're introducing all of this. Like it is a lot to do. Like I think they did a pretty good job of it overall. And poor Dane Whitman got like 10 minutes in the movie.
He'll be getting a whole movie for himself, though.
He will.
I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna. You think he's gonna get a whole movie?
Oh yeah.
I do.
I think he's just gonna be the bad guy in Eternals 2.
Wait. You think he's gonna be a bad guy? Is Black
Black-
Knight a bad guy?
Nah, Black Knight's a bad guy, bud. The sword's a symbiotic sword. We'll get to We'll get to this after the movie's over. It's related. It brings venom into it with symbiotes.
Yep.
All this stuff.
So
It was
that's
a
why the
big-
sword talks to him.
Well, the sword didn't talk to him. Blade
Well,
talked to him.
yeah. But that's why the sword's like it has
He
all
heard
those
what you said.
little.
Yeah, because the
Well-
sword, when he takes the sword, he inherits the spirit of his ancestor, the Black Knight. It forms with him.
That's wild.
So I knew that before the movie because when it was cast like a couple years ago when they announced the Eternals, they announced that he was cast as Black Knight.
Okay.
So like when the movie started, I was like, "Oh, it's Black Knight." I already knew he was gonna be the bad guy, but obviously he wasn't the bad guy in this movie. But
I thought Black Knight was a mixture of like Venom. Like he's good, but he's bad.
it depends on the it's comics. It's a mess. Depends on the comic line. The sword has a mind of its own. The sword originally was a villain, but of course you know how it goes. Like he'll be a villain, but then he'll learn how to live with the sword and be an anti-hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like Venom in the comics is mostly a villain, but in the movie they got to make him a hero to have him lead a movie.
He does what he needs to do to make it better for himself.
Right. Sony's like, we need a main character for our own movie. We'll pick Venom and have him be a good guy.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I like the fastest stuff. I loved him. We can get off negative. We can get off the negative corner now. I really liked it. Do you guys want to get into like some like big brain, galaxy brain thinking going forward and what this sets up for the MCU?
We could,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
one thing I wanted, like, it was when he's trying to create something to control the celestial.
Yeah. Hive mind.
Yeah, he called it the hive mind, and
But before that, he's
In the
doing that
air?
thing in the air, and it's like the 10 rings appeared. That was already around, right?
yes, I don't feel like it's the 10 rings.
But it was the exact same logo when he was in the air. It was 10 rings.
I didn't catch it as like an obvious thing that's in ring. I mean, it might just be like
Maybe a nod.
I was getting more like Iron Man and Infinity War vibes when he was creating stuff like with his hands, a little thing.
I don't know. I did
Endgame.
like that, how he was creating the combustible or the steam engine.
Hey, that's
So that was-
fastest.
that
It's
was
like gotta
cool.
forge.
That was kind of cool, him doing that.
Yeah, I thought his character
So-
was fantastic.
Fastest made the 10 rings,
You think so?
but those weren't related. That was not related.
You think he made the 10 rings though?
That's what I'm reading right now. He made the 10 rings.
Hey, Josh, I think you said this off podcast, right? Or we said this on podcast that Thanos was a deviant.
Yeah.
You know how you know Thanos is not a deviant? Because they would have stopped Thanos.
You think? I mean, I think they wanted to sit back and
They
let
would
everything play
they
out.
can't. They have to stop Thanos, right? If he's a deviant, their purpose is to stop deviants. They would have stopped Thanos if he was a deviant. Because their main purpose was to kill deviants.
It is. I don't know. Then how would that play out for his brother?
Like
at
I
that
said,
point?
they're not going to retcon Thanos into anything. Just a coincidence. They're going to act like they're going to say, "Don't ask questions. Keep watching."
You think this
Thanos is
would be
Thanos.
like? So my question would be for you. You think it's probably going to set up like a multiverse kind of thing, not necessarily no multiverse, but kind of like that.
I don't think this sets with multiverse at all. I think this is like, I think Marvel's going in two directions. I think they have like their multiversal movies and their space movies, and this is like, it's very obvious to me what's going to happen. I don't know, like the Eternals are going to split up, right? Eternals 2 will be like the 3 that got taken by Arishem in the end, and maybe Black Knight, and then the other crew of Eternals are they're gonna pop up in Guardians.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
Because Eros is connected to Adam Warlock in the comics. Adam Warlock is already confirmed to be in Guardians 3.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Adam Warlock for a while.
Those are gonna cross over. So like they're gonna split the Eternals up. Well, I think after this movie, we're pretty much gonna have team up movies from now on. Until whenever Fantastic Four and Blade come out, and we have 2 more origin stories, and then it's like we're done with origin stories for a while.
I think it's gonna lead into the Secret War.
Secret War, we're leading into Galactus, bud.
But I'm talking about like.
Did you not think Arishem's like? Do you think that's how they're gonna introduce Galactus? Is he's gonna be a celestial like that?
I've been kind of wondering about that actually.
Well, first Tiamat's gonna bring in the mutants because Tiamat, like his awakening's gonna somehow awaken the mutants. They already talked about bringing mutants in. Hey, Secret War's gonna be a TV show. Secret War's next. Like after this cosmic cycle they talked about.
There's just a lot of stuff going on with Marvel right now.
But as soon as I saw Arishem, all I could think about was Galactus. Like they're gonna make him look like this, and he's gonna eat Earth.
That's what I thought. Like I even like reached over. I kind of like looked at Shawn. I was like, "Hey, Galactus is probably gonna be in this movie."
Oh, okay. I see what Thanos is now. Okay.
You want to elaborate?
No, not elaborating.
You just gonna throw that out there and not say anything?
It's very interesting. But
No, I like. Keep going, Brennan.
He's definitely. He's definitely related to the Eternals.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Yeah, I know.
His parent is a celestial.
Yes.
Sui-san.
Well, does that mean that? I know they said that yes, Ego is still a celestial, but I like that how Ego looks like a human, but these celestials look like giant space robots.
Yeah.
And then the Eternals are essentially giant space. They're just space robots as well. They're made in a factory.
So technically, who would meet who out of Ego and the Celestials if they're all Celestials? Is there different versions of Celestials out there, you think?
James Gunn also said he's a celestial. Don't think too much about it. Comics, bud. They say, hey, don't worry about it.
Here, we'll just make a movie.
That was in the past. That was before this movie, so it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. He's dead. He's not coming back. No, they like the Harry Styles thing at the end being Eros was super cool. I got a very Guardians feel, and I like that crew. They split into a crew I care about, like Fina, Bakari, Druid. I like those 3.
I did
I'm
get
o-
that Guardian of the Galaxy feel.
I'm okay with these three and Eros doing adventure. Give me that movie. Then the Cersei, Fastus, Kingo getting snatched by Arishem at the end, and he's gonna look their memories and see if Earth judge Earth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. Give me that movie. I don't need old 10 in a movie anytime soon. And Icarus can stay in the sun for all I care.
You just didn't like him, did you?
I feel like they didn't do it. They didn't. The writing didn't do enough for his character. I feel like they could have did him a little better.
I can't remember his name.
I think he'll be more explored soon.
Kingo. Am I pronouncing his name right?
Yeah, Kingo, yeah.
His little helper, whatever you want to call him.
Well, the valet,
Yeah, the valet dude. Like, I feel like
that dude was awesome.
he was awesome. Like, I feel like he had more kind of like his own little story than like a lot of them. Like, I feel like you could relate more with him than you could anybody else.
Who can relate more to him?
Like, I just feel like as an audience, you can relate. Like,
That's what that's what he's there for. He's the audience member, bud.
but I kind of feel like it took a lot of eyes off the internals and put it more on him. He was, I don't know.
I disagree.
I feel like he did his part. He's the audience. He's the audience vessel. He dumbs stuff down for us. He's a comic relief. He's us.
Comic relief.
He's us in the movie.
Correct. I agree with that.
I don't think he took anything away. I feel like maybe I liked a lot of the comedy, but I just feel like the movie was trying to do too much, right? Like they had the comedy here with him, and they had this like super like this romance story, and then they have like this. I feel like they could have narrowed it down in a couple different directions. And it doesn't really matter. Marvel's going to keep making the movies the way they do it. I think the movie had a villain. Overall, it kind of had a villain problem, right? Like, you know, Icarus isn't the real bad guy. It's Arishem, right?
Right.
It's Celestials. For me, like, it's kind of like the same reason that Guardians 1 doesn't work. I like Guardians 2 better than Guardians 1. Because, like, I feel like Guardians 1 has kind of the same villain problem, right? Like, it's supposed to be Ronan the Accuser, but then once you see Thanos, you no longer care about Ronan, right?
Correct.
Like, you see the real bad guy. You're like, oh, that's the big bad. We're fighting a minion in this movie.
I feel like I agree with you. Like the over villains, like I kind of got that Spider-Man 3 vibe.
It wasn't even too many villains. It's just like, okay, obviously Icarus isn't the main villain, right? Like, yeah, they're gonna fight him, but it's like, I'm not worried about Icarus. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but like the stakes are with the giant red robot. That's the dude we gotta worry about. Cause you're gonna kill Tiamat and what? He's just gonna let it happen? I mean, obviously, then we saw what happened, but it's like once you see like the big bad, right? It makes the little bads less important.
Yeah.
That's why maybe if I felt like they could have done it a little better if they would have if the audience knows Icarus is bad and you build him up, like you get to see him kill Ajax early in the movie, right? And we want to hate him, so he gets like this villain, you know what I mean? But so overall, I still like the movie a lot. I think a 7 out of 10 is probably a good score.
Yeah, that's what I'd give it.
It's nowhere near my favorite Marvel movie, but it's nowhere near my least favorite Marvel movie.
I give it a 6.
I'm gonna agree with Cheyenne and Brennan on this one. Like, I give it that 7. Like, it was a good movie, but there's a lot of stuff to nitpick about it. But overall, I would go watch it again.
There's stuff I really like. There's stuff I like. It's probably in like the bottom half of Marvel movies, but probably at the top. There's stuff I really like out of it. Probably like I said, the fighting scenes, they do really well.
Yeah, every really scene with fighting scenes.
Sign me up for every scene with Kingo. I'm down.
The beginning of the movie was just too slow.
I agree with you there because I fell asleep twice in the beginning of the movie. Like I was like I can't do this.
I get that, and I get also if you're not like following along, like you know the history of the MCU or at least comics a little bit,
See, that's the thing I don't know.
I get it can be very confusing, especially when they're talking about, okay, we had deviants, and now when the whole scene where like Cersei first gets the did they ever give it a name? The orb,
No,
the
Remember.
golden ball.
just a
When
way
she-
to communicate.
When she gets the thing to talk to Airsham, right? And that
Yeah.
whole like 30-minute scene where he talks about, you are robots made from the world tree, and here's the hive mind. Wipe your memories, and I send you to do the emergence, and then the deviants. Like I could heal people in the theater around me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's an emergence? Who are the Celestials? But see, I was like, I could see that part, and I feel like that's what it would have been from a Disney Plus show, is you could kind of expand more.
Yeah,
Maybe not jump back in time, back and forth. You can like tell a nice clean story. But overall, like I said, it's 7 out of 10 for me. It's a very middle of the road Marvel movie.
agree 100%. Like I don't want to keep nitpicking about it at all. Like there's a lot of things that I liked about it. There's a lot of things I hated about it.
It's no Shang-Chi, and it definitely will be
dude,
no No Way
Shang-Chi.
Home.
I like Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi.
Shang. Shang.
I'll be honest, I still need to watch that movie. I'm
Legend
gonna
of the
watch
Ten
it
Rings.
tomorrow. Yep.
You've not seen it?
It's a
No,
good movie.
I haven't had a chance to
It's
see
on
it.
Disney Plus.
I know. I've been working and
Dude, you watch it at work.
Came out in September, bro.
I know.
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah,
I'll
but
watch it.
This movie makes me excited to see what's coming.
Anything
It was
from
a
Marvel,
stepping stone.
It is like anything from Marvel. I'm so excited to see. Like
Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna get the pay. The sad thing is, I don't know when we get the payoff, right? Because we're probably not gonna get any mention of this in No Way Home. I don't.
No.
We probably won't get a
I don't
mention.
think
We're
No Way
not
Home
gonna.
will have that.
I don't think we're gonna get a mention of it in Doctor Strange. I guess Thor. Whenever Thor: Love and Thunder come out, we might. That's
I
probably
would
the first.
I would
Probably
say
the
in
first chance we're gonna
Thor,
see something.
because
I would probably say Ant-Man and the Wasp, or not Ant-Man and the Wasp, but is it Ant-Man and the Wasp: The Quantum Realm or whatever?
Quantuminium.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's after Guardians 3. So the way it works, right, for the lineup, Spider-Man: No Way Home is December 17th.
Mhm.
Doctor Strange is May 6th. Thor is July 8th. Black Panther should be November 11th next year, but there's problems with the. Did you hear about the whole injury and stuff?
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
know.
with
The lady
I
that
can't
plays
remember her
Shuri,
name.
the lady that plays Shuri, she got hurt in the movie, so they've stopped production, so that might get pushed back. Then in February of 2023, you got the Marvels, which is Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau from WandaVision.
Mhm.
May 5th of 2023, you have Guardians 3. Then July of that year, you have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, which is the first official thing for King to Conquer. Is
So
cast in that movie.
Here would be my thing. Do you back to the Disney Plus thing? Since we probably won't hear anything for a while, do you think we might get a Disney Plus like kind of show from this, like they did with WandaVision, Loki, to set up for everything else?
Well, I don't know because they've already announced the shows too, right? So
yeah, I would
Um,
say no.
maybe like I'm trying to like now I got to figure out a list of what shows are coming out.
Because I don't remember what shows. I know there's
Hawkeye.
yeah, Hawkeye comes out.
And then you got Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
the holiday special for Guardians, Ironheart, Armor Wars, and then that's it.
So probably not.
I mean, maybe they're in the holiday special, but I doubt it.
I just feel like they need to do something like give us some mentioning and like upcoupling of movies. So
They'll probably They'll probably give us an after credit scene on one of these movies, right? Because they always do the two.
Mm-hmm. I think we'll get in Thor though.
Yeah, well, Thor's supposed to be like. I mean, last time we saw Thor, right? He was in space, or he was leaving with the Guardians, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we might get it in Thor: Love and Thunder as Guardians of the Galaxy. Come on, that'd be dope.
Maybe it's a team up kind of thing.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Pratt's already like he's supposed to be in the movie. Like the Guardians are already confirmed to be in Thor 3 or Thor 4. So is Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And Natalie Portman's gonna play Mighty Thor apparently. Woo!
She's taking over. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't think she's taking over. She's probably just gonna be in on it for a little bit. But I think like you might see them at the end of the movie somewhere. And then my guess is Thor Guardians 3, they'll probably Eros will play a point in that at some point.
In Guardians 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie is just gonna have stuff everywhere. In all the shows and all the movies, basically.
And very divisive. The first time in a long time a Marvel movie's been so split. I mean, amongst the fandom, you know what I mean? Like really split. Like I don't count Captain Marvel because I feel like a lot of it was just internet trolls. Man, there was a female superhero movie.
Yeah, I liked it. There's things I hated about it, of course, but I mean overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like this movie better than that movie.
Oh, I don't like Captain Marvel. I really don't think it's that good, but I don't think it. I think it was not. I don't care about Captain Marvel. It wasn't had anything to do with like people were just. I feel like people were making stuff up to hate it, and it's like I don't care. She's not She's not charismatic. I don't care about Captain Marvel.
Just not likable.
Yeah.
And she's like super. She's stronger than Thor, basically.
She's Superman. She's female Superman.
Yeah.
It's the same problem. It's the same problem Superman has in most movies, where like you just don't care about Superman. There's no stakes. That's why I like Man of Steel, right? Because he fights villains that are on his level.
Like I agree 100% with that. I think my biggest thing is her acting, especially when it came to Endgame. Like I didn't like her acting.
I didn't mind it.
But now we've turned into a Brie Larson hate fest.
No,
on an Eternals pod of all things. Yeah. I guess real quick we can break down the end credit scenes. Like the first one. If you've not been clear, so they get on a ship, the three Thena, Druig, and Makari. They're going to space. They're gonna go find other Eternals to tell them the truth about their existence.
Yep. That
they are sent to destroy their planet. And then Eros and Pip, kind of like Bifrost on there, but he can teleport. It looked a little Bifrosty, didn't it?
It did. I was getting ready to say like is Thor showing up or something. Like I got kind of excited in a way.
And Eros explains. He says, "Fellow Eternals," insinuating that he is an Eternal as well. Says, "Your friends are in trouble. We got to go get them." Which that's pretty dope. I was down for that. Harry Styles, the ladies in the theater went crazy.
Yeah, they did.
And the second one is Dane Whitman opening a box, which you get a little prelude right when he tried to tell Cersei there's some things in his past. You see the sword and it says, "What, death will set you free," or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, "That's a little alarming." And then he goes to reach for the sword. And then you hear Mahershala Ali, Blade Josh,
I know,
say, "Are you sure you want to do that, Mr. Whitman?" And the theater's left in a silent puzzle about who that mystery voice is. Who is that voice? But the second scene hyped me up so much. I don't know. I was so afraid they were going to Inhumans Blade. And what I mean by Inhumans Blade, they announced an Inhumans movie. And then they canceled it and tried to play it off like it never happened. I was so afraid they were going to do that to Blade. Because there's been nothing since then. Like no talk, no nothing. And to hear his voice in the end credit scene, I said, it's real. The Blade movie's going to happen.
I'm excited.
I love Blade so much.
Yeah.
The only vampire I care about in Marvel. Mobius will be cool if Blade kills him. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my god. I'm excited for the movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Anything else we can talk about? I feel like we've wrung the rag dry on Eternal.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your least favorite Eternal, Brennan? Real quick, who's your least favorite Eternal?
Dina.
What?
I thought you were gonna say Druid for sure.
No, I like him.
I love my man. They said keep the Irish accent.
Mm-hmm.
They
See,
said
the only reason
don't
I
mask it.
chose her was because I didn't really like the Mad Weary part.
Right.
I get why it was a part of the story because it was foreshadowing what was coming,
Yeah.
but I just didn't. It made her character useless, basically. I didn't like that.
Shout out to
It's like-
Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie taking a nothing part, really.
Yeah, it was like Hulk when he wouldn't come out of Bruce Banner.
Oh
It
yeah.
Right.
just didn't feel needed, and it took away from the character to me.
It shocked me because like I wasn't like shocked, right? Like I guess I was, but like in the trailer, right? They build her up to like you kind of think she's the leader, right?
Yeah.
You assume
seems
well
like
first
she's
was
the
Angelina Jolie, right? Like she's probably like maybe the biggest star Marvel's ever had. Like
Yeah, her
To play in
outfit's
a role?
completely different than the other ones. So you're like, yeah, she's the boss.
you got a gigantic movie star who's probably like maybe she hasn't been anything relevant, but like if you're gonna do power rankings of least likely to be in a Marvel movie, I feel like she'd be way up on that list.
Yeah.
And you see her in the movie, you're like, well, she's gonna be a part of it. And you're like, oh, she's like in 5 minutes, 10 minutes total of the movie.
And
She's a supporting character. Now, at the end credit scene, it looks like she's gonna play a giant role going forward,
yes,
which is crazy that it's like she didn't just sign on for one movie. We're gonna have Angelina Jolie in the universe for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be excited for it. Shine, who was your favorite or your least favorite?
Is
You
it
agree with
Shawn
that?
or Cheyenne?
Cheyenne.
I feel like you expect me to say Chris, but I'm gonna say Sprite. Sprite, like I don't know, this is useless.
Yeah, Sprite.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Like I did not like Sprite at all.
it
We
made
didn't see-
her
We didn't see enough of her.
too.
No.
Do you think Sprite keeps your powers when she gets turned human?
No.
No. I think she lost it.
Because I want to say, do you think Sprite like teams up with the X-Men?
Ooh.
But she has no powers, right? Because I guess if she still had powers, Arishem would have took her, right? Took her as well.
No,
Maybe.
because she didn't turn on him.
Well, neither did Kingo.
Wait, did he take Kingo?
Yeah, he took
Yeah,
all the.
he
He
took
took Kingo, Fastus, and Cersei.
So with her making her human, do you think she took her powers as well too?
Yes.
Like drained her like the
No, I don't think they drained her, but I think they just took it from her.
Yeah, I think when it turns her to a human, she probably loses her powers. I guess that makes sense.
So she's probably not gonna be around for much.
I don't think we probably see her again, which
Not till
makes
she's
sense,
older.
right? Because you can't like, that's tough, right? Because she's gonna get you. You can't have a character who stays a 12-year-old forever in the MCU because you're gonna have to keep casting a new 12-year-old. By the time they make Eternals 2, she's no longer gonna look 12. You know what I mean?
Right.
So kind of like a clever way of Marvel. I see what you did there. I see. You don't think I followed along? So what are they gonna do with Tiamat just hanging out in the ocean?
That's new.
Yeah, that's
that's
really
that's
off, like-
Antarctica, bud.
That wasn't Antarctica. That was
Yeah.
a beach.
That's the
It
new
was a
one.
beach. That's a new Antarctica, man.
Hold
I
on.
don't. It just threw me off. Like even when they like zoomed out, whenever Icarus is going in the sky, like you didn't see it
They're in the
at
Indian.
all.
They're in the ocean. They're in the middle of the Indian Ocean, bro.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
just saying,
but the
it's
way-
just a new ice cap.
The way it's so big, I feel like you would have seen it a little bit from outer space. You didn't see it at all. Like it was.
I don't think you'll see it from outer space. It's not that big.
He's a celestial. And how's my man coming out of the earth?
Is he? Maybe it's like how a baby comes out. You know.
Bro,
it's
that was so sick though. I was the man in the ocean like that. I was getting chills.
Yeah, you
Getting a
were.
little scared. Getting a little scared of Tiamat.
Tiamat's a fish.
We don't fuck. We don't.
Confirmed here.
All my homies hate Tiamat.
So do you think he's gonna have anything to do with any other movies?
Tiamat, I think that's how they're gonna shoehorn. So in the comics, right, there's a whole thing where Tiamat is like kind of like the birth of the X gene or whatever. Tiamat X-Men. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, so like Tiamat has to do the X-Men in the past. My guess is like I wonder if they're gonna do something where like, because we gotta get the X-Men at some point, right? They've already announced they're bringing the X-Men over. If Tiamat
wait.
being born generated enough energy to maybe awaken like the X gene or some powers in people.
That or us as humans, you're gonna have people going there like.
Well, there's a whole thing that like they said they linked up with Tiamat, so maybe Tiamat let them kill him, because there is a whole thing in the comics where Tiamat and Arishem do fight. So maybe he decided to like go against Arishem's plan himself, give the people of Earth more powers to fight Arishem. He's the dreaming celestial after all.
I just didn't like how he turned into.
I'm excited to learn more about the Celestials.
Oh yeah, like I feel like I'll start reading some of the comic books and stuff.
I'm sure we've skipped over the most obvious part, how they're gonna come back. There's gonna be a what if season 2. What if the Eternals let Tiamat blow up the Earth? Like, you know how much stuff we got in What If season 1?
Yeah, we
Yes.
got a lot.
Like, there's gonna be an Eternals. Something with Eternals is gonna be in What If season 2, which is coming next year.
You think that's what season 2 is gonna be based around?
No, but
No.
we'll get an episode. They're all it's an anthology series, so I'm sure we'll probably get at least one. Like, we'll get one episode, just like everything else.
I'm excited for the zombies, Marvel zombies, whatever.
I do like the comic book a lot, so.
Oh yeah.
But I think they have that in the non-canon. Like, it's gonna be the one-off series, not like a main series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all we got for Eternals.
Yeah.
Go see it.
And then tell us what you think about it. What'd you guys give it?
Oh, I'll give it.
No, I meant like the viewers at home, Josh. Like Brennan
Oh.
said, go see it, and then tell us how you thought about it. Tell them when they're gonna hear us again, Josh. You know you're behind the scenes. When are they gonna hear? When are they gonna hear us pod again, Josh? What are we gonna be podding about next?
I know the next thing coming out is Book of Boba. We also got Spider-Man coming out. I think that's gonna be our next big podcast for movie. Is gonna be Spider-Man, of course. No Way Home.
We'll have a news podcast on games next week. Probably around next Friday or Saturday.
I'll love to hear it.
But that was the Nerds at Night. Make sure you subscribe to us. Start listening to us every week. We're starting to post more and more regularly.
3 podcasts last week, boys
Yes,
and
sir.
girls.
Yep.
Share us with your friends and family.
We're finally doing what we said we were gonna do.
Don't jinx it.
Can't do that, Brennan.
Don't jinx it.
See you guys next week.